Now, you sell high-commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Are you tired of your current vehicle? Maybe looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle? Hey guys, it's Zach. Hayes Nissan of Rivergate is the best choice for your vehicle needs. Located at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison, Hayes Nissan of Rivergate has been serving the Middle Tennessee community for over 3 decades. That gives you confidence that Hayes Nissan of Rivergate can find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and your budget. Their friendly and knowledgeable staff will make sure you are taken care of. I should know because I've seen it firsthand. Every vehicle I've purchased has been from Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, and I love the entire process. Now, I don't want you to forget about their award-winning parts and service department. It has everything you need to get you back on the road. Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com. They're open there 24/7, 365 days a year. Or give them a call at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
Listen. You can't handle the truth.
It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now on the Cure Hotline at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty then.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Wednesday afternoon to you. And yes, it is time for the McFarland Show. 2 hours of fun, informative talk.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not reading from a script.
That's the goal.
I was not handed that script before the show.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm just trying to give you straight from the heart.
Yes,
Darren and Justin.
That's how we feel.
Here with you. Devlin is alongside here at the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. 615-844-5600 is how you can get in touch with us. We've got another great show for you, another loaded show with you. We're going to talk to Murphy Fair, the high school guru.
My goodness.
Coming up at 2:20. I was sent a message last night that, hey, you might want to be on alert for this. And I was like,
okay.
I sent back the eyeball emoji. Like, He said, yeah, I'm hearing Trent Dilfer's going to UAB.
Interesting.
And I was like, what high school is that again? What side of town is that on? No, the one, the college
the
in
university.
Alabama.
Yeah.
It's in Birmingham.
It is.
It's in the state of Alabama.
It is.
And I was like,
known for its medical center more than anything else.
Oh, you mean the Blazers?
Yes, the Blazers. But a very good university nonetheless.
Yeah. He said, yes. I said, oh. And then it was about hour and a half, 2 hours later that it was now starting to circulate out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Through college people who cover college football, national reporters. And I was like, well, son of a gun.
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer is going to the college ranks. So we'll talk to Murphy. Obviously, there's tons of things to get into. The championship schedule is set to take place in Chattanooga starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Ironically, Lipscomb Academy kicks off the coverage.
Yeah.
CPA, Lipscomb Academy. Honk, if you've heard that matchup before in this setting. Yep, and
Long
they will do. Yes, they do have history,
Yes.
and he is going to coach this game.
Yes.
And then he's heading on to UAB. Brentwood Academy also finding out their coach is saying, "Hey, thanks for the memories. It's been a fun ride, and I'm going back to Texas." So we'll get into all that.
Okay.
With Murphy Fair coming up at 2:20. At 3:20, Alex Doherty will join us. Covers the Predators for A to Z Sports. Preds get a shootout win or overtime win. I just immediately went straight to shootout.
I was going to say, didn't you go to the game?
Oh, no, so no.
What?
I didn't.
Okay,
so here's
this is
what
new
happened.
information to me.
So after the show,
Yeah.
it was pretty quick. I started feeling a little bit weird, a little bit off.
Okay.
And so I'm going, what's going on here? So I just went to this really, really popular celebrity bowling event.
Yeah.
That was
Around a lot
packed
of people.
around a lot of people for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was an awesome night, Monday night in Hermitage. But I was like, something going on here. So, and we're just a little bit different post-COVID. Is that fair to say? Like,
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that at all.
And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think there was a time when we just, pre-COVID, like, we're just like, I don't know, so
just,
what? I'll just keep doing my
if it
thing.
just happens, it
whatever
happens, whatever.
And I'll just run into people and whatever. If they get something from me, whatever. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, and not that it's cool, but it's like, but I'm not going to do anything to prevent it. Like, I'm just going to keep doing things until I drop. Until I drop. Right, until I got to go to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're a little bit different coming out.
Yeah.
And so I try to be a little bit, and I was like, this is a good idea. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, maybe something's not right here.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the start of something, and I'm thinking, I don't think it's probably a good idea to go hang out with everybody for 3+ hours, 4 hours.
Around
tonight.
the ice rink.
Well, and plus, I'm going to be talking to a lot of people. I'll be around a lot of people.
Usual. Sure.
And what? I'm going to go in the locker room and I'm going to go to press conferences. And I was like, precautionary reasons, this stinks, but I think I need to stay home.
Fair enough.
And so after the game, I took some NyQuil and I zapped myself, and I got up today and
feeling better.
I feel fine.
Okay.
So maybe I was wrong, maybe it came and it went. I don't know, but I feel totally fine today.
You never know what stops you from doing certain things, and it may not. The reason that you did not go to the Preds game may have nothing to do with any sickness at all. Maybe it was just some other powers that be letting you know tonight's not the night for you to go downtown Nashville for whatever the reason. Who knows what it may or may not have been.
Well, the weather wasn't great, that's for sure.
No, the weather was not, but not as bad as it could have been, and not as bad as our neighbors down in South and West Alabama and Mississippi are dealing with, as they are dealing with the aftermath of tornadoes down that way. So it's that same storm system as it was coming through here. It was leaving that kind of damage down there. So not as bad as it could have been.
So before the Preds game, had the rankings come out.
Yes.
So we talked about it yesterday on the show. I asked Bill Keene who's going to be 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State, Alabama, UT. And he said, I think that was his 5, 6, 7.
That's exactly what he said.
I said, boy, I already know what's coming.
And that's exactly what happened.
UT fans, because I've already heard it. I had heard it well before. And I was like, well, they need, because I kept telling them, well, you need to brace, because it's probably going to be, you're probably going to be behind Alabama. And they're like, no, why? You beat Alabama. What's the point of head-to-head? What's the point? And I'm like, well, it's a little bit more complicated than that. I said, this is a human committee.
It is.
Your star quarterback that may have won the Heisman. May.
Yeah.
Was right in the thick of things for the Heisman.
Sure.
Is out.
Yeah.
Okay. He's no longer. He's got a torn ACL like me. That's literally what I told people.
Yeah.
Like I have a torn ACL.
He gone.
He's got a torn ACL.
Yeah.
Like he's not. His season is not. His career in college is over.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants to keep trying to make Joe Milton good. There is a huge drop-off between Hooker and Milton.
There seems to be.
And if you disagree with that, I'm sorry to have to explain this to you, but there is a drop-off between Hooker and Milton, okay? I get it. Milton's a big kid. He's got looks the part. got a big arm. We get it. We've heard all this for years and years and years. He still, at times, cannot hit the broadside of a barn.
At times.
He can't hit water falling out of a boat. What was the reference Bill said yesterday?
He could not drop a beach ball into the water if he held the beach ball directly out over said water.
That was a little rough.
Dropped it.
That was a little rough.
Under a calm wind, I think he said. Under a calm wind, he could not drop a beach ball into the ocean.
Yeah, it was
while standing over.
I thought it was harsher than what I've said. So
I mean, Bill needs to write novels because Bill has descriptive thoughts in his head about certain things.
Yeah, this was just shortly after he was explaining a acid bath. For Hugh Freeze.
Yes,
so
after crawling through
broken glass
on his belly. Not on his back, on his belly.
On his belly. So I'm trying to tell people, this is a human being. This is not computer spitting out stuff. They take into account that the star quarterback is no longer going to be under center.
That's correct.
And so the next guy up is not near as good. So you understand that penalizes UT. And a lot of them understand it.
No,
and then a lot of them don't.
Well, they don't want to understand.
They don't get it. They're like, I still don't understand. They go back to head-to-head, and I'm like,
no,
hey,
they don't want to understand.
Squirrel.
You don't want to understand.
Stop looking over here. Look over here. Stop looking over there. Okay? Again, it's not about head-to-head anymore because the star quarterback is out of the equation. So if Bryce Young, if Hooker was in for UT and Bryce Young was the one that went down, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say the Iron Bowl or the silly game that they played before that, which was
UT Martin, I thought, right?
Or actually, was it Western? No, Western played Auburn. Who was it? Whatever. It was a silly out-of-conference game.
It was somebody.
Oh, actually, it was Austin P.
Was it Austin P?
I'm sorry, Austin P.
UT Martin played Tennessee.
Okay, it was an out-of-conference game in Tuscaloosa that we know the opponent, in this case, Austin P, didn't have a chance, okay?
They schedule one every year.
I understand, and that was not shade at Austin P. I don't blame you for playing that game. Play it, grab the money, and go use it for your facilities and to get better, okay? Got it.
And they have done just that.
Ready, break.
In years past.
But if Bryce Young goes out in that game, guess what? When the rankings came out last night, Tennessee would be 5, Alabama would be 6. Because, see, the committee would have gotten in the room and said, hey, Bryce Young, his career's over. Like, he's done at Alabama. This season is done for Bryce Young.
Yeah.
So Hendon Hooker is still available. He's upright and healthy, and he's a Heisman Trophy candidate. So we're putting Tennessee in front of Alabama. And, oh, by the way, this just in to help our case, Tennessee and Alabama played, and Tennessee beat them.
Yeah.
See, that's how that would work.
Yeah. So
does that make sense? Do you agree with that, or is there some pushback coming?
You get no pushback from me. No, listen. I explained this off air to the nice folks who work with me yesterday, in the morning over at Fox 17. What you just said. I said, well, why, and why? And I said, guys, quiet for just a second. The reason this is happening is Hendon Hooker is done for the season. That's why. Oh. Okay. So they understood after you explained that part. Now, so here's my thing with all of this is UT fans do understand. They don't want to understand, but they do understand. And anyone who says they don't understand, come on, man. Yes, you do. You understand. And you've understood this whole time. You understood what the schedule is. You understood there were divisions within your conference. You understood all of this. This is not new. This is not new information. What I don't like is when people act like stuff like this happens and then it's like it's brand new, like they didn't know. You didn't know if you lost to South Carolina or Vanderbilt, either, because it would have happened the same way, that this wouldn't happen. You didn't know that? Then why were y'all so, upset after you were upset after the South Carolina game because you knew this was what's going to happen on the back end. and you're just mad because, well, they think Alabama's better than us again. Because of the college football ranking? I mean, are y'all serious right now? The college football ranking, in which there is a high probability, not even possibility, just probability at this point, that neither Alabama nor Tennessee gets to the college football playoff this year. So what are we really talking about now? If anything, you might have an argument about Ohio State and being in front of them. Maybe I kind of, but really, I mean, honestly, because if TSU loses, Ohio State or letting Ohio State back in? Or is Tennessee arguing if TCU loses, they should be back in over Ohio State?
If what's not going to happen happens, USC's not losing to Utah. Okay,
no,
but let's say they do.
It's TCU.
Okay, TCU loses. That's if TCU and USC lose. That's where they're because those three behind, they don't have anything to play for. Right? They're not playing, so there's nothing they can do. Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee cannot improve their resume. They cannot change anything in the room. No. They're going to be sitting watching the games just like all of us. Okay, so they're not going to be on the field.
And they didn't know. Tennessee fans didn't know this. They didn't understand this before. That's why I don't think I honestly do not think some of this outrage that Tennessee fans are showing is real.
No, I think it's look.
I don't think it's real. I think this is just them being upset and being rivals with Alabama. This is what rivalries are all about.
Of course.
This is sibling rivalry.
Well, what's wrong with that? That's totally fine.
That's
totally
fine.
But
as long as we call it that, as long as we don't call it, something that it's not.
No, but they're fixated.
Like there's injustice happening.
My conversations is it's fixated on head to head, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. If everything was the same. This is not apples to apples. This star quarterback is done, out of the equation. This star quarterback is still in the equation, upright and healthy.
Yeah.
Therefore, they get a bump. Okay? That's how that works. Star quarterback goes down, the committee considers that. Watch the NCAA tournament committee in March. Okay? For that big tournament they do in hoops. When a star player goes down for a team, guess what happens? That team is like, yeah, we were going to have them as a 2 seed. Now they're a 4 seed. Well, what? With that resume, they're a 4 seed? Yes, again, are you listening? Your star player that averages 26 points a game is probably not going to be available for the tournament.
Yeah.
So we're going to push you down to a 4 seed because you know what? When he's not in there, you're not as good. This just in. When that guy scores 26 points a game. Mm-hmm. So, we don't trust you the same. So we're pushing you down to a 4 seed. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works in committee rooms. With human beings. Let's go to the Cure Hotline.
Come on.
Eric is in Nashville. Eric, what's up?
Hey, guys, I just want to throw out some things I think is hilarious. This doesn't have nothing to do necessarily with interest head to head. But to say that the committee has some sort of bias against Tennessee or they're out to get them, they're favoring Alabama, stuff like that, I think it's ludicrous. And here's why I bring it up, guy. Guess what? What was the fact? Who was the number one team in the country when the college football playoff thing first ranked? Wasn't it the University of Tennessee?
Yes.
That's correct.
Numero uno.
That is a correct answer.
First week.
Yes.
And even when they lost to Georgia, they still showed them a lot of love by only dropping them to 5 guys. They didn't drop them like way, way down, guys. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that Georgia had the right to be mad or something like that, but I'm sure a lot of Georgia fans were not happy when that first college football call came out because they were the defending national champion. They were undefeated. They were ranked number 1 in the AP, but in the college football playoff, Tennessee was ranked number 1. And I guarantee you, if it had been the other way around, if Tennessee had been the national champion, undefeated, and they were number 1 AP, but then they saw Georgia was number 1 in the college football playoff, they would have picked the
disrespectful. I can't believe that they're doing this to us. Yeah.
Yeah. And my point is this: Tennessee is not getting screwed or anything like that. It's just it is what it is, and it all works out in the end, guys. But I think you're right. I think that's a part of it. I do think the fact that they lost to South Carolina, the way they did played a little bit into it too. But if I'm UT, I would not be upset. I mean, we're talking about 6 or 7. Some are saying it may affect the bowl selection or what bowl you go to and stuff like that. But in the end, that doesn't matter. When you have a 12-team playoff, it'll help it a little bit, but then you'll probably have whoever's the number 13 team say, well, we should be in the 12th team playoff too. It's just it's kind of an apple-oranges thing. So I just don't think you should be upset. I know you want to count head-to-head and all that type of stuff, but if you just only go by head-to-head literally and stuff like that, you could go through a lot of different scenarios. And, of course, like, for instance, LSU, of course, beat Alabama, but now they've got 3 losses. You could also make the argument about Notre Dame, who beat Clemson and stuff. So it's just it's just a lot of this stuff is insane. And, of course, LSU, by losing, they're not going to get to go to the playoffs, even if they win. If they beat Texas A&M, they'd be in the college football playoff. And I know UT would be mad because they said, well, we beat LSU. I said, that doesn't matter. A lot of times it depends on when you lose, how you lose, and all that type of stuff, and when you get hot. So, I don't have a problem with it. I just throw that out there, guys. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Man,
thank you, Eric.
Where was Eric whenever? He could have saved me a lot of text.
I mean,
a lot of
listen.
I would have gotten some time in my life back. Where was Eric? I could have brought him in and let him debate these conversations.
Everything Eric described is why I've been making the argument that the loss to South Carolina was the worst loss in the programs. And I know going back to 2001, I've heard the arguments, but everything Eric laid out with everything that was on the line, that loss to South Carolina was the worst loss in my lifetime in 40-something years. I think. It was bad. It's just so much on the line for them to drop that. And they did.
It's not that they lost. It's how they lost.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? They got housed.
Yeah, and lost their star quarterback on the same night.
It was just it was
just a brutal night.
Epically bad night.
Yeah.
On all fronts. Just horrible. Like, that had to have been the quietest plane ride home ever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm sure.
Compared to what you came there for?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Nightmare.
All right, we'll come back. High school guru Murphy Fair. We'll talk all things. The state championships going on. Some big coaching changes. We'll get into all that and more next here on the McFarland Show, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. It's starleasing.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Sammy Kincaid, host of Power Hour with Sammy Kincaid. every Saturday morning from 9 to 10. Listen in as I highlight women in sports from high school to the pros, athletes and administrators. And you know what? Let's talk some ball with women covering the game across the country. Power Hour with Sammy Kincaid is every Saturday morning. Listen in on Nashville Sports Radio from 9 to 10 a.m.
Back here on the McFarland Show, Darren and Justin here with you. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. We're here at the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Let's go to the Cure Hotline. The high school guru is on the line with us, Murphy Fair, who is headed down to Chattanooga, where all the action will be starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. CPA, Lipscomb Academy, and boy, Murphy, no storylines around that one, is there? Uh-oh. Is Murphy there?
No. Okay. We'll get back with him.
I think we lost him. Well, he told me he was going to be – he's driving to Chattanooga as we speak.
Well, listen.
So, depends on where he's at. Do you know anything about that drive?
Oh, a few times, yeah. I've taken that drive.
You've done it?
Yeah. Have I done it? There's a couple of dead spots between here and Chattanooga. Just a few.
Usually where, like, rocks fall down and stuff. That's a bad spot.
Good old Mount Eagle
where
there.
they've built walls and stuff.
Yeah, Mount Eagle, you get down in there. By the time when you leave South Pittsburgh and get down, you dip into Georgia for a few minutes and then come back out to go back into Tennessee.
That is the McFarland Show's final answer. Murphy Fair is in Mount Eagle, right? Let's do that. Let's go. Let's lock that in. Let's lock it in. Murphy, are we right or wrong?
Well, I'm pretty close to what you're talking about. I'm on 924 approaching the South Pittsburgh exit.
So you're on the south, so you've come down Mount Eagle already then, if you're going to South Pittsburgh. If you're almost at the fireworks stand.
That's correct.
Okay, that means he's come down off Mount Eagle there, off the 6% grade.
The three of us have made that trip many, many times over the years. So we could probably go exit for exit on this drive.
Probably. We could probably get there
I don't
pretty
think
quickly.
It's good for radio, but so we'll spare everybody out there listening. Murphy, how the heck are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys doing? Who all's with you there, Mr. McFarland?
Well, another Mr. McFarland, Justin McFarland. He portrays himself as a TV guy on Fox 17 in the mornings.
That is true.
And then he comes in here as radio guy in the afternoons.
And that is true. But Murphy Fair, obviously, sir, I've been in this market since the early 90s. I know exactly who you are, sir, and it's an honor to speak with you, sir. I know who you are. I've been following your work for many years.
He's kind of been doing it for a long time, hasn't he?
Murphy Fair?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Longer
name.
than I'd like to talk about.
I was going to say, we're doing great, Murphy, but we're not doing as great as Trent Dilfer today because I got a heads up, and I told the story in the first segment from somebody. A buddy sent me a text last night and said, you might want to be on the lookout for this. I'm hearing Trent's on the move. He's going to UAB. And it was about 2 hours before it hit out there on Twitterland by a lot of big-name people in the national media. So what do you make of this move? Did this surprise you or no?
Well, yeah, I had just gone to bed. It was about 10 o'clock last night, and somebody sent me a text that referenced that. And, oh, dear, I've got the phone in my ear, and I just passed the state trooper. We'll see what happens here.
Fingers crossed.
But anyway, yeah, that did surprise me quite a bit. I did not see that coming, especially with the state championship on the line tomorrow as far as Division II AA is concerned. But I guess they won't have Trent Dilfer to kick around up here anymore, that's for sure.
No, and we've seen this matchup before, and we'll get to that in a minute. So these are obviously big shoes to fill. I mean, I know it's still very early, and you're probably, like all of us, still trying to process all this, and maybe you've talked to folks this morning or you haven't, but how do they go about trying to fill the void that's going to be left behind? Where do you think they turn or try to turn? You know, who's maybe some people, some candidates on a list? What do you think?
I don't know. I have not talked to anyone. I've been so busy trying to get all my stuff together for being the sideline guy on a half a dozen or so games in Chattanooga this coming week. But that's a tough one. I think that job is much tougher to fill than a lot of people might think because it's so different than it was when Glenn McAdams was there. And I've said many, many times, I'm sure Glenn has been rolling over in his grave multiple times these last 2 or 3 years because this is not the Lipscomb football program that we all had grown accustomed to. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just so remarkably different. It's almost like somebody told me yesterday, it's turning into the IMG of Tennessee. And Coach McAdams never on a bad day would have wanted that program to be like that.
I know exactly what you're saying, Murphy, because I think we used to hang out underneath a tent on a Friday afternoon over there at Lipscomb Academy before all the thing, before it looked like it does today. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. Glenn was a calming effect on so many people, myself included. I sometimes tended to get a little overboard in my feelings about a particular issue that came up, and a few minutes later, Glenn would say, "Well, did you ever think about it this way?" And he'd expound on the other side of the issue, and all of a sudden I felt like the dumbest guy on the block, because I hadn't thought about all the stuff that had run through his mind. I miss him an awful lot and think of him on a pretty regular basis.
No doubt about it. So before we get into these matchups, one more coaching move. We also learned today, big void now at Brentwood Academy. Cody White resigns after what, being there over a decade. I guess he's going back to Texas.
God. Is he really?
Yep.
Wow.
Going back to Texas.
That one surprises me as well. Just about to miss the South Pittsburgh exit here. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming either, and I'm sure a lot of other people are in the same boat as that. But Cody's a Texan by birth, I think, and I guess it's he lost his mother not too many years ago here in the mid-state, and I guess he just wants to go back to home. He's done just about everything he could do at Brentwood Academy. Maybe not all that Carlton Flat did, but nonetheless, he's won his share of state championships as well, and I hate to see Cody go. He's been a good friend and has always been there when I had a question, and I will miss him quite a bit.
Yeah, he won 4 state titles there and coached 130 games and won 103 of them. That's not bad.
Man.
It's not bad.
No, a lot of people would take those numbers and call it quits, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would. So we've seen this matchup before to get all the action started tomorrow morning. You'll be right in the middle of all this. But CPA, Lipscomb Academy, no strangers to that matchup in this spot. And with Trent Dilfer, as we just discussed, on the way out, is this the rallying cry, if I can spit that out, for Lipscomb Academy? Do they get behind their coach who's leaving and win one for him on the way out, or is this kind of a something that has the opposite effect where everybody's down in the dumps and they don't play very well? How do you see that one playing out?
Well, knowing Ingle Martin the way I do, it could be a rallying cry for him. Hey guys, this is our last chance to beat Trent Dilfer. It depends on how you want to look at it, but Ingle has. He's the only one in the state that beat Oakland this year, and so who knows who rides that wave of saying sayonara to Trent Dilfer.
Oh boy, man, that will be interesting. Now, Murphy, I want to ask you about the region here in Middle Tennessee and the way that the college game may be affecting high school. Do you see any effect at all that NIL and that whole thing has had on high school football and the way that kids may move these days, try to position themselves these days? Have things changed down on the high school level because of the moves being made at the next level?
Well, quite frankly, it frightens me. And I thought about that 6 or 8 months ago when this NIL, the first time I heard people starting to talk about the NIL, I thought they were talking about Wes Elrod and Buddy Brown and all those guys that played in the NIL. They coached in the NIL, many years ago. And I know there's people out there thinking, what is he talking about? But, that was the old Nashville League, Nashville Interscholastic League of high school football, but obviously they're talking about something different in that regard. And like I say, it does scare me a little bit. There has been more than one occasion where I made the comment, I think I'm getting out at the right time because high school football is changing so fast. We can't keep up with it, guys. The coaching change. We had 100 coaching changes last year, and we're already past 12 or 15 for this coming season already, and we haven't even finished the 2022 season yet. So I don't know. I think everybody needs to put the brakes on a little bit and slow down. Everything seems to be money driven. And that's the only thing that really matters. What about life lessons and all those other things that high school football was so noted for so long? And now that's an afterthought, more than anything else, I think.
Murphy, are the guys who are leaving, are they going to college? Or are they just moving on to other high schools? And this is why I'm asking that question in particular. When I think of the big name college coaches that are out there today, not a lot of them that, to my recollection, have ever coached in high school. There used to be a hierarchy almost. You move from high school to the way Trent Dilfer's doing. You went from high school on to college, then maybe you moved on from there. But where are these coaches going, Murphy? If they're not staying at their schools, where are they going to?
They're just finding somebody who's willing to pay a little bit more to be a championship football team than where they are right now. And it doesn't seem to I think a lot of people think if I go to a big school, I'm going to automatically win more big games and make more money in doing it. But it's not always that case. And I think a lot of times there's plenty of room for people to say it's his fault or it's their fault or whatever, lay the blame somewhere. But what happens is that people think that if they hire a big-name coach, he can come in anywhere and turn that program around in 2 years. And you guys know as well as I do that that's not a 2-year project most of the time. And consequently, if it's not done in 2 years, either the administrators or the boosters want to get that guy out and find somebody else that they think can come in and do that in 2 years. And it just doesn't work that way. And that's what causes the carousel to spin so fast as it is right now. It's like a domino effect in a lot of cases. If the right coach leaves a particular program, then that program has to be filled by somebody else. And whoever it's filled by, that program has to be filled. And all of a sudden, one guy leaves, but it affects 6 or 8 schools before it's all said and done.
Wow. I want to ask about local rivalries here in town. During my other job at Fox 17, they send us around to some of the pep rallies, or at least they used to before COVID. And I got a chance to go see some of the cool things happening at high school gyms all across the mid-state here as they got ready to play their rivals, and it was very, very cool. Went to Oakland, went to Blackman, been up to a couple of other places here, the Hendersonville up there, Beach High School, all over the place here. Murphy, can you talk to me about the rivalry that you may enjoy that still is? And the rivalry has got some history, Murphy, because I don't know the high school history as well as I do some other things. Which rivalry to you has got the deep roots that's still alive and vibrant today as much as it ever was?
Well, I think probably a lot of that stems from the fact that I lived in Murfreesboro for 10 years, but the Battle of the Borough Oakland and Riverdale is one that goes way, way back. Those schools opened in I think 1972, 71 or 72, and for several years they were the only two high schools as far as public high schools are concerned. But now that there's so many, that rivalry has weakened a little bit, but it's still pretty strong. There's still a lot of folks that have been going to that game for 30, 40 years, and they keep going to it. I think some of the newer rivalries are the ones that have sprung up in Williamson County. The Battle of the Wood between Ravenwood and Brentwood, and others very similar to that. And it thrills me, literally thrills me, to go to a game and see 500 kids up there in 40-degree weather, acting like they're in the middle of Daytona Beach, beach night or whatever the case may be. And that's what the whole, the Friday night experience isn't just about the 22 guys on the field. It's about all the kids in the stands that are cheering their heads off. It's about the bands. It's about hamburgers in the concession stand. It's about the cheerleaders, looking great and cheering those guys on the field on. It's just it's a heart thing for me. It's not just who wins the ball game and who rushed for 100 yards, although those are very important things. It's all part of the growing up process, and I just feel so blessed to have been such a part of it all these years, and still continue to be able to do that on a smaller basis. But nonetheless, I'm so excited about the Blue Cross Bowl this weekend in Chattanooga, and then the East-West All-Star game the next week at Austin Peay in Clarksville.
Murphy, one more. The second game tomorrow will be the one sandwiched in. There's three games. Triple header tomorrow. We already talked about the first one, CPA Lipscomb Academy. The one in the middle is going to be Friendship Christian and Nashville Christian. We've been talking to Jeff Brothers for a long time. I used to work. The first job I held in Nashville was at 560 WNSR in 1998, and I worked with one Jody Brothers. Of course, that's his brother. But Nashville Christian, little brother. Nashville Christian, Friendship Christian. How do you see that one playing out tomorrow?
I think it's got a chance to be every bit as good as the first or the last game tomorrow. It's really interesting. If you look at the 9 football games, 18 teams altogether that are playing in Chattanooga this weekend. Only 2 of those teams are West Tennessee teams, and only, I don't have my notes with me right now, maybe 4 or 5 are East Tennessee teams, if that many. It's amazing how Middle Tennessee is dominating state championship weekend tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. But I think that game's got a chance to be a good one. I think Nashville Christian's got a couple of setbacks to their record, but the Weekly kid at quarterback for Friendship Christian has made a significant difference in that program. I think he does an outstanding job on both sides of the ball. You guys probably know his grandfather was just recently retired as the women's softball coach at the University of Tennessee. So there's some athletic genes in that family, and I know John McNeil there at Friendship is really excited about having been able to coach that young man, and I'd say he'll probably play at the next level. He's got some pretty good genes in him, and I saw Friendship play a couple of weeks ago against USJ, a team that has been in the championship game the last 2 years, only to come away on the short end of the scoreboard. But I think that'll be a really good game. I really do.
Murphy, I'm pretty sure the state trooper was listening to the show and decided to give you a break talking to us, putting the good word out about high school football. So we appreciate him not getting involved.
Just in case, I got off the interstate and I'm in the parking lot at Walmart in Kimball right now.
Yes.
Well, good.
Nice,
even
spacious
better.
Parking lot there. Been there many times. Good
even
spot.
better. Murph,
good spot.
Really appreciate it. Good to talk to you. Have a great time in Chattanooga. Enjoy the games, and we'll talk to you down the road.
It's an honor, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for thinking of me, Darren. I appreciate it. You guys rock.
Yes,
Take
sir.
care.
That is Murphy Fair. He is the high school guru, and he's been doing it for a very, very long time. The
Legend.
man knows his high school football. By the way, his magazine or book that he puts out every year, I think this was the last year of it. I think it was 34 years.
I just looked it up,
34 years. Hello. All right, we'll come back. More of the McFarland Show on the other side. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Hey guys, it's Zach. Give the gift of play with the team at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. Stop in and stock up on a huge selection of new and gently used gear and equipment. Maybe you need some cash for the holidays. If you have too many bikes, inline skates, hockey, or other sports gear that you don't use anymore or it doesn't fit, get cash on the spot for your unused gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. They have the trained staff to help you sell your gear and help you find the perfect gift for the holidays, like a new baseball bat, lacrosse stick, yoga and workout gear, or equipment for a home gym. Or maybe you're like me and you love perusing golf clubs. Go check out what they have in their used inventory. I'm always in the Hendersonville store checking out their used golf clubs. So get cash for your holiday gifts when you sell your gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. And make sure to tell them Zach from Nashville Sports Radio sent you. That's Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville.
Douglas is a real Prevagen user and paid testimonialist.
My name is Douglas. I'm 79 and I live in Chicago. I'm a writer, director. I used to be a marathon runner. Now I'm a walker. In the kind of work that I do, you are surrounded by people who are all younger than you. Memory became a factor. As everyone gets older, where did I put my keys? But I had to get help to stay competitive. I happened across Prevagen, and I started taking it. I saw myself having an improved memory, which at the same time, I felt better about myself. I could not be doing what I'm doing today had it not been for Prevagen.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life. Prevagen is available in stores everywhere. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who were cognitively normal or mildly impaired, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Slim's Tender Mac Bowls are back. We start with a 3-cheese blend to make our delicious mac and top it with chopped hand-breaded tenders and Colby Jack cheese. Try the Tender Mac Bowl meal or the Buffalo Tender Mac Bowl meal, both served with Texas toast and a medium drink. But hurry, they're only around for a limited time. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Skyscan forecast. Today's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 50 degrees, winds gusting to 30 miles per hour. Mainly clear and colder, less wind tonight, the low 28. Thursday is going to be a sunny day, high 48. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi. Sports Radio, WNSR.
Good stuff from Murphy Fair. Back here on the McFarland Show. By the way, you can watch us every single day. Hello. We know you do. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We appreciate all of you who do watch every day. We try to get dressed up for you.
Yeah.
Take showers. Not that that would really matter. I don't think. If we had messy hair, you'd probably still watch, I think. But we don't do that.
But so why put that out there?
Yeah, I know. In all seriousness.
Yeah.
So we were having this discussion off the air, and maybe it should stay off the air, but we can do a little bit.
But why? Why not just bring it on?
No, because look, I have had nothing but great dealings with Trent Dilfer and the folks at Lipscomb Academy. Like I have nothing bad to say. Okay, Trent's been great to me. He's been great to the shows I've been on or the stations I've been at. He's been great with his time. We've done shows there at his place, right outside his office. He'll come over there and sit and talk for 30 minutes. I got no issues whatsoever. But with that being said, I don't think other coaches in other schools felt that way, and I get it. they're approaching it much different than me.
Okay.
Right? I'm just a media guy. He's looking for attention for his program. I get it. By the way, he's on Colin Cowherd's show, I think, every week.
Yeah, I've seen him.
On a national platform.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Every single week.
I've seen him.
So, and
doing
look,
quarterback breakdowns.
And yeah, look,
sure.
It's not his fault, right? He's Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
He was the quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
He won a Super Bowl.
He did.
So, I'm sorry if other coaches aren't invited to be on the Colin Cowherd show, and he gets special attention for that program. So I guess what I'm getting at is that's not really the rub. I think it was probably more about the resources and what he had. But, look, who's kidding who? There's a lot of private schools around this area, and they're listening to the show right now. They got endless resources too.
Absolutely do.
But he's got connects, right? Like I've been told, and look, if this information is wrong, please let me know. But I know places where I'm getting it, and I feel pretty comfortable saying this.
Sure.
I think his offensive line coach, since he's been there or for a good while, has been George Kittle's dad.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know George Kittle's parents live here in Nashville. I see them at Preds games all the time. Okay, George Kittle and his, I think now wife, they're very tight with Philip Forsberg and now his wife, and they're sitting together at games, blah, 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 okay?
Nice.
So I've heard, George Kittle's dad has been, I think, the offensive line coach for a long time, since the whole time he's been there. I heard until recently he left to take a bigger job. His kicking coach was Phil Dawson.
Jeez.
Okay, Phil Dawson was his kicking coach in high school. Okay. How long did Phil Dawson kick in the NFL?
I'm looking it up because I wanted to know.
Can you turn me off here, Devlin, because I'm about to head up coughing.
I was looking it up here just to try to figure it out. Phil Dawson, boy, okay. So Phil Dawson kicked for a total of 20 years in the National Football League.
What did I tell you during the break? I didn't even look it up. I said he had to have kicked for 20 years. That's what I said.
And you're right. I was mistaken. It was Cleveland, San Francisco, and Arizona is where he did his kicking. He was the kicker for the Browns from 1999 until 2012.
Some bad Browns teams.
Well, when the Browns came back all the way until, the next decade.
I guess what I'm getting at, Justin, is while I had zero issues with Trent was always very good to me. I don't think everybody felt the same way. I think there's probably a whole lot of people rejoicing that he's taken the UAB job. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm casting a net, and I can't speak for everybody, and that's fine. If you want to disagree, have at it. That's totally fine. I'm saying I've talked to enough people. That's the vibe I get, okay? I'm not trying to speak for other people. I'm saying I've talked to other people, and that's the vibe I get, that there's a lot of people rejoicing that he's taken the UAB job.
This is something that's new to me. I'm around high school football a little bit. When I go to cover games, I have not been to Lipscomb, so I don't know anything about obviously, I know who Trent Dilfer is, and I know him more from the playing days. When we did the story this morning, I was kind of wincing thinking back on the 2000 Ravens who came in here and beat the Titans all those years ago, to take that opportunity from them there in the playoffs. But to me, and I know obviously Trent Dilfer's a high school football coach, but my memories of him still are NFL related more so than high school football related. And I knew he was here. I knew he got a lot of attention nationally. I've seen him on a number of national interviews right there from his office or from his home here in Nashville. I knew he was in town, but I did not know there was some feelings about him associated as well. That's new information to me. But it'll be interesting to see where a team goes after that, because as Murphy mentioned, that's hard to replace a personality and a presence that can do those kind of things like Trent Dilfer can do. So,
Yep. But we do wish him the best.
Oh, without question.
And I am curious to see how this plays out at UAB, because it's a program that's had a lot of success, believe it or not.
Yes, they have.
Right?
UAB is a good
lot
program.
of success.
Oh, yeah. It's a good program. And so, and they want to remain that way. And they're kind of taking a little bit of a risk here. So, because to my knowledge, Trent Dilfer doesn't have any college coaching experience, does he?
No. I mean, he's done all the, he was doing those passing academies, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, well.
Quarterback.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's
schools.
great. That's great.
He was doing all that, but to my knowledge, I don't think.
Well, this is a bit of a risk here. So we'll see where it goes.
All right, we'll step aside, come back, and wrap up the first hour of the McFarland Show next.
Nashville's first curling venue is here at T-Line Nashville. Come check out T-Line Nashville and experience the world's fastest growing winter sport today. Curling is a fun and simple sport that's a perfect outing for friends, corporate events, families, or parties. T-Line also has classic bowling and modern bowling mini games. With over 20 HD TVs, you can come watch your favorite teams and some of the best food and drinks here in Nashville in the large bar and grill area. They also have an outdoor area with a fire pit, and you can't forget the live music. T-Line Nashville is a one-stop shop for a great night out. Located at 106 Duluth Avenue and online at tlinenash.com. You can book your party now or give them a call at 615-439-1024. That's 615-439-1024. And make sure you give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook at T-Line Nash for all the news, events, and updates. T-Line Nashville. Nashville's first curling venue is here. Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, now also located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Reward yourself for surviving Nashville traffic with fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. And free Wi-Fi, so you don't have to work from home. Number one in customer service. You made it through the traffic. Reward yourself with a perfect pick-me-up at Bongo Java. Fresh coffee, delicious treats, great atmosphere. Open 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. daily. Bongo Java at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Get all your NASCAR news every weekday right here on the Final Lap throughout the offseason. Hey, it's Kerry Murphy. This week is Champions Week. We've got stuff going on from Nashville. We've got Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt Jr. still talking about Ross Chastain and the move at Martinsville. And Roger Penske is getting a big award. So grab all the latest NASCAR news, driver interviews, stats, and info every single weekday right here. Like us at Facebook.com/The Final Lap. We'd appreciate it every single weekday right here.
NFL Top 10 rankings to begin the second hour, plus Alex Doherty at 3:20. We'll talk a little Preds and hockey with him back here on the McFarland Show. Garth Brooks has apparently put his name behind the new stadium. He has endorsed the new stadium.
This is slightly unusual because, to my knowledge, nobody asked Garth Brooks what he thought about this. And yet, he has not done an interview. He has a podcast or radio show or whatever he's got. He didn't address it there. He wrote a letter to the Metro Council laying this out, a public letter in which I've got right in front of me right now some of the words he put into that letter. He says to the Metro Council, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, just a part of it. He says, the intent of this letter is to express my gratitude for thinking about an enclosed stadium for the people of Nashville and Tennessee. Today's stadiums are not like the stadiums of the past. Dome stadiums are revenue-generating machines because they can keep busy 365 days a year. Now, he went on to say, a little bit later down, just recently, we had a rain out during the stadium tour in Nashville. The amount of revenue lost because of that storm was very, very heavy for me and for the stadium and for the city. A Dome stadium would also separate Nashville from competing cities for all major events. Nashville has worked hard and waited a long time to gain the recognition. Let's please build a Dome stadium and show the world that being a major city with a caring, loving environment is possible. Sincerely, Garth Brooks, country music icon.
Thank you, Garth. We appreciate your support. I'm happy. I think you're right. I think it is interesting to see that actually happen. But
he didn't have to say anything. He's gone out of his way here.
Yeah.
So
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting stuff. All right, that'll do it for hour number 1. When we come back, NFL Top 10 Rankings. That's next.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Alexis Christoforous. Congress intervened to block rail workers from going on strike next week after talks broke down with freight companies. In a separate measure, lawmakers also added 7 days of additional sick leave for rail workers.
The U.S. House passed Bill 290 to 137 to avert a potential rail strike that could have impacted the nation's supply chain and delayed deliveries amid the holidays. The approval from the House marks a win for unions and possibly a politically positive move for President Biden, who has long hailed himself a pro-union leader. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
The measure now heads to the Senate. Fed Chair Jerome Powell hinted the board may issue smaller interest rate hikes as early as December. Powell says inflation is starting to ease, but there is still a long way to go to stabilize the economy.
We will stay the course until the job is done.
Residents in the South are cleaning up after an outbreak of tornadoes. At least 2 people died in Alabama. This is ABC News.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. It's time for our Cyber Week special. Save $1,000 on select Sleep Number 360 smart beds and adjustable bases. Plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Are you looking for a trusted partner who knows AT&T business inside and out? ABS Communications is an organization built on the premise that telecom solutions and working with companies like AT&T can often be complicated, and the customer needs someone to help them navigate through these complexities. They make complex simple. Whether it's helping maintain, manage, or secure your business, ABS Communications is here to help with all your business telecom and mobility needs. Their business was built with the goal of simplifying the process of connectivity for the customer and establishing a long-term relationship of trust through transparency and accountability. ABS Communications is a top 5 AT&T authorized agent with over 200 years of AT&T technical experience. You can call Mark and the gang at 615-349-8588, or you can visit their website at abscomm.net. And remember, mention the McFarland Show to ABS, and you could get up to $250 in a Visa gift card for new ABS business customers.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now on the Cure Hotline at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty there.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is at least sunny outside. Yesterday, it was raining sideways the entire show.
Yeah. Not so much today, though. Enjoy eat it up out there.
It's a little nippy, but it's sunny, so we'll take it.
Almost December.
Yeah, okay. You're saying that should be expected.
Yeah.
I got it. Fair enough. Darren and Justin here with you. Devlin also alongside here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Speaking of Strike and Spare, had a lot of fun in Hermitage at their location Monday night, bowling. 117, 122. Not really good stuff for me, considering I came in packing my own ball in my own case.
You want to keep bragging
bag.
about?
It's a bag.
You want to keep bringing up those numbers?
No, I'm not bragging. No, I'm actually poking fun at myself. It's pretty embarrassing.
Bringing up those numbers, man.
Pretty embarrassing. Kind of like some of the teams when I was looking at our top 10. So there's been a quite shuffle.
Okay.
In my deck. Okay, so I'm going to just start at the top where there wasn't a shuffle.
Let's get to
KC
it.
was at 1 last week. I'm going to keep them at 1. Wasn't an overly impressive week by them.
No.
It's not like I was like, wow, awesome, you beat the Rams without Matthew Stafford. And the Rams just aren't very good. They're 3-8.
No.
But KC, nonetheless, did take care of business, and they're number 1. Philadelphia, nice win over Green Bay on Sunday Night Football. They just cram it down your throat. They ran for about 350 yards, something like that. Eagles, real deal. Of course, that is next up for the Titans in Philadelphia. So Eagles, number 2. So 1 and 2 remain the same. 3.
Okay.
Last week I had Buffalo. Yep, no, Buffalo, you're going to slide back. I slid Minnesota all the way back to 6.
Yeah.
They had a nice win over New England on Thanksgiving night.
They did.
I'm going to put the Purple People Eaters back up to number 3. So I'm going to move them back up. So they're at number 3. Dallas was at 5. I'm going to move them up to 4. Also a nice Thanksgiving win over the Giants. Man, their defense is good.
Yeah, they really are.
Their
playing
defense
well.
is good. Dak has been, it's been okay.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard runs the ball better than Ezekiel Elliott, but I think that is actually pushing Zeke to be better.
Yeah.
If you noticed, he ran a lot more aggressively Thursday night. I think it probably has a lot to do with everybody's going, why don't you just give the ball to Tony Pollard more? He runs the ball better.
You
He
about to lose
He runs angrier.
your job.
Yeah, so maybe it sparked him a little bit more, but I think they're pretty darn good. So I'm going to have Dallas 4. I'm telling you, this team was 7. I continue to be impressed. I've told you for weeks and weeks, as long as this guy is under center, man, they're good. This is not a team you're going to want to see. The Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are good. Okay? Tua has weapons.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, Tyreek Hill's having an off-the-charts, and he's having an MVP year.
Yeah.
Okay?
Best receiver in the league right now.
Yeah.
It would seem.
Yeah, he's kind of good. Now, I know he left the game early. That's not good.
Well.
And I know they had, one of their running backs, Mostert, was out.
They were also up 30-0 at one point.
That's very true. It's easy to take them out. It's not an impressive win. You beat the Texans. But nonetheless, the Miami Dolphins are good. So I've got Miami 5. I slid Buffalo all the way back to 6. I just, how much I was in love with Buffalo.
Yeah, you and all of America.
And I thought they should have lost to Detroit.
They beat the Titans 41-7.
Yeah.
They're the best team ever. They're going to run the table.
Yeah.
No one can stop them until.
I think they're still obviously really, really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's another gear to them right now that I don't see. And I know everybody deals with injuries, so that affects your gear.
Yeah.
But I thought they could have lost to Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Very easily.
Okay, they could have lost.
Oh,
but
very
they won.
easily.
But they won.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they won. Okay, you sitting down? Yeah, you
I
are.
am.
Yeah.
That's what I'm supposed to be.
Not in my top 10 last week.
Okay.
Now at number 7.
Yeah, sliding in.
This is kind of like sliding in the DMs. They slid into my top 10. The Cincinnati Bengals, folks.
Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals are at number 7.
Okay.
They came into here.
They did.
And they beat the Titans without Jamar Chase, who I think is probably going to come back this week.
It would seem.
And Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Okay. That happens to be, besides their quarterback, their two best players on offense.
RB1, wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, without him.
And I get it. T. Higgins is good. But Jamar Chase is elite. He's a number 1 receiver.
Yes, he is.
Joe Mixon is their number 1 back. Cincinnati Bengals are number 7. Dare I say it? Are they getting right at the right time? Are they getting ready to get on their magical run just like last year?
Listen, we all knew somebody was going to make a run. We all knew.
Okay. Number 8. They pitched a shutout. I think I've seen this. Gosh, I'm going to make this up.
Go ahead.
No, I think I remember it. They've gone 3 straight games. Listen to this stat.
Okay.
3 straight games. The 49ers defense has not given up a point.
Jeez.
In the second half.
In the second half?
Second half.
I was going to say, they did 3 shutouts?
No. Second half, 3 straight games. They've not given up a point.
That's highly impressive. They've given up the least amount of points in all of football this year, have the 49ers. They've given up 173 points in football, and that's the lowest by a considerable margin.
That was the first time New Orleans had been shut out in 21 years.
Well, first time
21 years.
First time they've been playing without a few people in 21 years as well. Yeah.
So San Francisco is number 8. The Ravens, they were 8 last week. I'm surprised I didn't slide them down more. They slide to 9. They lose in Jacksonville. Yikes. And it was between the New York teams. I decided to go with the blue team instead of the green team.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
went with the Giants at 10.
Number 10 there.
So that's my top 10.
All right, there's Darren's top 10 there. And Darren decided that the Jets were not worthy after benching Zach Wilson, going with their gut with White.
And annihilating your Bears.
Yeah, well, my father's Bears and the team of my upbringing, for sure. There's no question about that.
You were quick to correct.
Yes, I mean, my association with the Bears.
It's father's Bears.
Association with the Chicago Bears. A strong history, but not currently invested as much as no. All right, so top 10 for me for this day, last day of November, here year of our Lord, 2022. Let's go with the number 1 team for me, your Kansas City Chiefs. They remain at number 1 for me after their win over the Rams, who, again, we've decided after winning their Super Bowl last year just aren't very good. Perhaps to reload for next year, but this year they're not very good at all. The Chiefs remain at number 1 for me. Number 2 for me, Darren is right. They are good. They're so good that they are number 2 for me, and they are the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins coming in at number 2 for me. The Miami Dolphins are a highly dangerous team at this particular moment with Tyreek Hill. He is a matchup nightmare, and their head coach, who is an offensive coordinator by trade, before he got the job as the head coach, has found ways to get Tyreek Hill the ball, even though everybody knows that Tyreek Hill is going to get the ball. That is not easy to do, and they do it all the time. Miami Dolphins at number 2. Number 3, the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings have shown themselves to be rough, and here's what the Minnesota Vikings have done for me with this. The Minnesota Vikings have not just won, but they've won close games now. The win over New England was a one-possession game. The win over Buffalo was an overtime, one-possession game. They have come out on top. When you start beating competitive teams in one-possession games, that is showing more than just a flash. That is showing character that the Vikings have that would serve them well in January if they can keep this going. They're number 3 for me. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills slide up to number 4 for me after they hang on and beat the Detroit Lions. Now, yes, they did not look all that impressive, but I have to believe they're going to try to get themselves together, and they are still a highly dangerous team, and they are in a dogfight now with the Miami Dolphins because one of them is going to host a playoff game. And you want to talk about a difference? At some point in January, the AFC East champion is going to host a playoff game, and that playoff game is either going to be in Miami or it's going to be in Orchard Park, New York. Okay? You understand the difference? It's going to be significant. The Buffalo Bills right now at number 4 as they continue to chase the Dolphins in the AFC East. Number 5 is the team that all of Nashville is going to be watching this weekend, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles and A.J. Brown, who thinks we all hate him. We'll get to that later. But that is the number 5 team overall as they were able to play well against the Packers, but not that well. I mean, yeah, they played well, but they put up 40 points, but, I mean, they also allowed 33 points as well. So it wasn't like it was a blowout win over the Packers. They were able to beat them, though. They at number 5. Number 6, the Dallas Cowboys. Defense is good. Offense is, well, we'll see. Every single week with them. So they are number 6 for me this week. Number 7, just like Darren, I too have the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow.
Sliding in number 7, which it surprised me too. But I cannot deny what I have seen and their ability to make runs. Third down, they make plays, man. You know, it's frustrating, but they do. And they're arrogant at times. But listen, when you win games, you can talk the trash, and they do, and they do. So Cincinnati at number 7. Number 8, just like Darren as well, your San Francisco 49ers. Coming in at number 8, as their defense continues to play lights out. Yes, they blanked the Saints. And a game that, for you old school folks will remember, in the old NFC West, they played twice a year. The 49ers and the Saints did years ago. So that game threw me back to the childhood there for sure, as the Saints playing out there at Old Candlestick Park back in the day. That was the 3 o'clock game back in the day. All right, number 9, the New York Giants. Coming in at number 9, the Giants, well, they're hanging around. That's the best thing you can say about them. Are they good? Well, we don't know still, but we know that they continue to remain in the playoff hunt, and they are number 9 on my list. Number 10 are the Tennessee Titans. The Titans hang in there at number 10. Justin, why didn't you just remove the Titans out of your list after they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals? Well, I'll tell you why. Because as bad as it looked, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, the Titans, 2-3 plays, go another way, and they win that game. And that's hard to believe because of, well, they lost. But truth be known, 2-3, listen, if they have the rookie kicker, he makes that kick, it changes the complexion of the game, changes the calls that are being made. Everything changes. He missed the kick, though. So, you can't, if and buts and whatever, but he missed the kick. So that's where I am with the Titans. I don't think it's as bad as it looks. It concerns everybody. They haven't beat a legit team this year other than the Washington Commanders, who are the outside looking in of my top 10 list. They were the team that was on the verge and just didn't quite make it in, even though if the playoffs began today, the Washington Commanders somehow at 7-5 and all they have been through would be in the playoffs. They would be the number 7 seed in the NFC right now. That's amazing to think about, considering when the Titans beat that team with the walk-off, they were left for dead. Left for dead were the Commanders. And now they're a playoff team right now.
Yeah, I left them out too, even though last week I had them at 4. You had them at 8. Because, and I've brought it up on the show. I've brought this up several times on the show. I don't know how you can get around it. They have beaten the bad teams like you're supposed to do, and they've lost to the good teams.
Yeah.
So, look, until you beat a good team, I have to penalize you.
Yeah.
I do. And so could I have left the Giants out because they're starting to spiral a little bit? Sure.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, going back to the head-to-head. But the Giants came here.
They did.
And beat the Titans. So how would I keep the Giants? If it's between the Giants and the Titans, how could I keep them out? I also thought about sliding Baltimore out, but I don't know. I could have.
It's hard. Baltimore's tough.
Ultimately, the only reason I left them out is because, again, they've beaten the bad teams, which you're supposed to do, and they've lost to all the good teams.
Look,
and so,
listen, and I missed the point about Baltimore that I wanted to make here, Darren. And I left Baltimore out of my top 10, not because they lost to the Jaguars, and they did, but because of the way they lost to the Jaguars. They allowed, those guys to drive the field on them, get the touchdown in the closing seconds of the game, and then on top of that, they got the 2.
Yeah.
You got the 2, bro. You got the 2?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. And they nearly won the game on the
67-yard field goal.
If that game was in Denver, that field goal was good.
Yeah, agreed.
I looked up the humidity.
Yes.
73% humidity that day in Jacksonville when that kick went up in the air.
Oh, it was money. Right down. It was money. It just was a little bit short. A little bit short.
The air was too heavy. It never had a prayer.
67 yards.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
You're right.
Nearly won it for him.
In Denver, that's a game-winning field goal.
Oh, he gets it.
Yeah.
In Denver, hits the back of the net. In Mexico City, hits the back of the net.
Yeah. Mexico City's another one.
In muggy Florida, with 73% humidity, nope. Not going to make it. Like kicking an anvil at that point. Not gonna make it.
I don't know if it felt like kicking an anvil.
Listen, he wouldn't have kicked it. The anvil wouldn't have made it. The football didn't make it. Might as well have been the anvil. Might as well. No.
Ow, that hurts.
So no. It's the Ravens. You can't lose that game if you're the Ravens and you've got Super Bowl aspirations, which they do. You can't lose to Jacksonville. Not like that, man. That's got to sting them. You can't lose to Jacksonville and then to have Cincinnati rise up above you now over there in that conference. And the Ravens still hold the tiebreaker. It looks like they're still 7. But listen, you got to get it together if you're them.
Yep. 3 on the way to the break, and then we'll come back, switch gears. Alex Doherty, talk Preds. Danico Autry did not practice today. Elijah Molden did not practice today. Big Jeff, Jeffrey Simmons, did not practice today. Randy Bullock, full participation.
Oh.
Ben Jones, full participation. Ryan Tannehill, full participation. No surprise there. But Randy Bullock and Ben Jones, full participants today in practice. All right, come back. Alex Doherty next here on the McFarland Show, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Fill the halls with shouts of winning, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be giving, fa la 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 la. Instant games to friends and family, fa la 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 la. Join the joyous cash prize carol, fa la 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 la.
With top prizes up to $500,000, holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery make grand gifts. Find them at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer today. Please play and gift responsibly.
Are you suffering from bad gift giving? Look for the signs. Do people avoid eye contact when opening your gifts? When your friends say, you really shouldn't have, do they really mean you really shouldn't have? On more than one occasion, have you been re-gifted the same gift you gifted that person the year before? If so, the new Holiday Instant Games from the Tennessee Lottery might be right for you. Available now at your local retailer. The Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly. Side effects include invitations to more parties and less awkward looks at gift exchanges.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Austin Hardy is your go-to agent in the Middle Tennessee community for the service you desire at the price you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Austin Hardy has you covered. Call 615-810-9999 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Tired of the same old company holiday party and looking to reward your team with a fun night out? What about something different for a birthday party or group gathering? Hello, this is Philip Cox of Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers, and we specialize in group events no matter the size at our Tusculum, Donaldson, Hermitage, Murfreesboro, and Hendersonville locations. Plus, Hendersonville and Murfreesboro offer enhanced entertainment options with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. 'Tis the season to have fun with family, friends, and business associates, and there's no better place to do it than at Strike and Spare Family Fun Center. Visit strikeandspare.com to learn about the group outing option. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
You know what the Mets stand for?
Metropolitan.
Yeah, that one.
Metropolitan is a flavor of ice cream, right?
Neapolitan.
Oh, okay.
Was that real?
I mean, half and half.
Oh, man. You talk about throwing me off complete. My equator is gone.
The afternoon stretch. Afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Back here on the McFarland Show on this Wednesday afternoon, Darren and Justin here with you. Let's switch gears. And before we bring on our guest, before we go to the Cure Hotline.
Yeah.
Can I get something off my chest real quick?
You can.
I'll be very brief.
Okay.
NHL.com, their website sucks.
Okay.
It's awful. How can a league website be that bad?
Wow.
It's terrible. It's slow. It's down. It's wrong. It's like, it's the league's website. Come on. You got to be better than that.
You would think.
All right, I feel a little,
Feel a little better?
I feel a little.
You got
Not
it
really.
off?
Not
No,
really.
no.
All right, let's bring in Alex Doherty. Covers the Preds A to Z Sports. Alex, what's up?
How's it going? I cannot agree with you more, Darren.
It sucks.
The league website it's been bad for a long time.
I know.
Too.
I
It's
know.
not like no, but it's just surprising that it could be that bad for so long, and they just continue to just roll it out every year like it's like nothing's like there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's not a new take. I think it just hit me today because it just, again, every time I go there, it's like, golly, you just don't even know if it's going to be up and running. You don't know how slow it's going to be. You don't know how much misinformation there's going to be. It's just like, come on, folks. It's your freaking league website. Get it together. You got to have some people that should be able to fix this, right? But you're right. This has been going on for years.
There was a while where the stats page was just you couldn't even go there. I mean, it was awful. They have since upgraded that, so at the very least, I can go to the stats page and pretty reliably it's okay. But anything else is just unwatchable, unvisitable.
Is MLB still running? There was a time when the folks from MLB were running it. Is that still going on? Do we know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. It could be my next door neighbor running it right now, for all I know.
Oh, well, I don't know. I was going to say something, but I was like, I don't know your next door neighbor. Maybe he would be better. I don't know, or she. So I better not comment. Last night, what did you make of last night? By the way, let's just start with big props to everybody in the Predators organization, from Sean Henry all the way down, just to pull off having that game last night. If you've seen the videos, if you've seen the pictures, everything's been a hot mess since we learned of the flooding Friday morning. So for them to actually pull it off last night, I know it wasn't perfect, and I know they were still having to do a lot of things not normal, but hey, the game happened.
Yeah, the game happened. To be honest, I mostly forgot that happened. That's how much they fixed everything. I obviously never would have thought that there was 3 feet of water in some spots. I walked around. I do a little lap around the whole arena before the game while the pregame stuff's going on. Didn't notice anything. Everything looks completely normal. So yeah, definitely a lot of props to the crew over there to get that ready to go. As far as the game, I've seen a lot of people kind of complaining, like, how did you have to go to overtime to beat the Ducks? The Ducks are pretty bad. And that's valid. I think that's a fair criticism. I think getting only 2 goals against a pretty poor Ducks defense, even though John Gibson has always been a good goaltender, especially against the Predators. He had 39 saves last night. I think it's sometimes this particular Predators team, and ever since John Hines got here, it has always been quality over quantity, right? When we saw the Laviolette teams of several years, they were just throwing 40 and 50 shots on net every night. It was just volume. It's very different with John Hines. They're looking for quality. They are going to cycle the zone, look for passes around the outside until they can finally get a crease inside to get a good shot on goal. And you can do that, but then, like, even especially if you're facing a good goaltender, you're only going to get a certain amount of really quality chances. They managed to get the one with Colton Sissons and then the Roman Josi one in overtime. But I understand that it can be frustrating, but consider that, they still only, they came away with 2 points. That's what matters. They gave up a goal that I think was a really weak win by UC Soros. I mean, I think he would definitely like to have that one back. And they still were able to come out with 2 points against a team that they need to come away with 2 points against.
I said on Twitter last night, after the Terry goal, boy, third period leads have not been the friend of Predators this year, and some fans took exception. Like, well, one, they thought I jinxed them. I'm like, I tweeted it after the goal, okay? It wasn't before the goal. I tweeted it afterwards, and, oh, by the way, I'm sorry, isn't that kind of a fact? I mean, it's not like that's some strong take. They've lost some third-period leads this year when they've been in control, right? I mean, so what do you make of that? Do you think that's a big deal, not a big deal, Alex?
You are absolutely right. They've lost. So when they've been leading after one period, they've got 3 losses. I mean, that's 3 losses out of 8 times they've been leading after the first period. That's not very good. I mean, like most of the time, when you score first in a game, and it's definitely if you're leading after the first period, you're going to win almost all those games. It is very, very difficult to come back and come from behind and win in the NHL. Some of that could be luck, but I mean, I think that there's a real problem with this team in terms of trying to generate offense in the final period of the game when the other team is coming down. Just putting everything they can at the net. Can they really stop a team from getting that tying goal or that go-ahead goal? That's a challenge for this team. And UC Saros was very good last night, even despite the one bad goal. He was very good. They will continue to rely on their goaltender as they have for 25 years now. And Saros is no exception to that rule. So I think that the third period thing is just a matter of can they find a way to counterattack more. They did a pretty good job of that last year, building a counterattack after some defensive minutes, especially with the Herd line. Tanner Jeannot, Jakob Trenin jumping up into the counterattack and getting some goals. Haven't seen that very much this year, so that's got to change.
We had an interesting discussion yesterday, and I'm going to give Bob and Antioch some credit for sparking this conversation, calling in. And then Justin asked me afterwards when we continued the discussion. So I'm going to ask you what he asked me, and I'm not going to tell you what I said. I want to hear what you say, and then we'll compare notes. Justin said, well, you ask Alex. What did you ask me?
Good afternoon, Alex.
You just said, what are they, right?
How's it going?
Like, what's their identity, or is that?
And so Alex, as you know, I'm on a hockey journey this year, trying to learn a lot more about the game than I currently know. I understand certain identities, though. I understand the Titans are a running football team with Derrick Henry, and they play power run and hard-nosed defense, and they're very physical. I get that. I understand Tennessee is fast-paced on their offense. Tennessee football, the Vols, fast-paced. They want to run wide open, create mismatch. I get that. That's their identity. What is the Nashville Predators' identity? Who is it that they want to be, and what is it that we're seeing now?
Well, I honestly, I think that the last probably 6 games, you have maybe 6-7 games, they have played more to the identity. And I think that their identity is this. It's kind of 2 parts. Number 1, to be extremely structured on the defensive end. And by structured, I mean not a ton of activation. Now, the exception there is Roman Josi. Roman Josi is always the exception. He can go wherever he wants because he's that kind of player.
Okay, hold on. Alex, I'm sorry. You lost me already. What does activation mean on the defensive end?
Gotcha. Yes, good question. For a defenseman to move up into the zone, playing more like a forward.
I see. Okay, I'm back with you. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. To jump up into
in other words, aggressive rather than stay at home.
I'm with you. Okay,
exactly.
I got you.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. No. Good. No, it's a good question. Yeah. Sorry. I sometimes we skip terms sometimes, but so for the defense to stay back and kind of regroup and assess where the weaknesses are in the opposing team, I think essentially it comes down to this: they want to be a sound defensive team first and rely on their forwards to create offense themselves. In the past Predators teams, the defense has been a huge part of the offense. Think PK Subban, Shea Weber, Roman Josi, of course, Ryan Ellis. All those players have been huge parts of the offense of the team. But now John Hines wants his defense to stay back with Matthias Ekholm, with Ryan McDonough, with Dante Fabro and Alex Carrier. wants them to stay back and let the forwards do the work. Because I think he thinks that it'll protect against counterattacks, it'll protect against, not allowing too many goals. But the problem is old habits die hard. Roman Josi can go wherever he wants to go. Well, when Matthias Ekholm jumps up, it kind of creates a little bit more of a structure collapse on the defensive end and leads to 2-on-1s the other way. That's what happened early in the year. So that's kind of the big thing. The other thing I think is they want to be a pretty aggressive forechecking team, and so the forecheck is when the forwards are really pressing into the opposing defense when they have possession to try to turn the puck over. They want their forwards, at least two forwards, very high in the zone, meaning like really far up the ice, in the face of the defenders when they have the puck, and trying to win that puck back. So I don't know if I've confused you more.
No,
you've
not at all. Not at all.
You did a good job because you actually answered. I was a smart butt. And when he first asked me, I said, well, they want to be more like Colorado because Colorado won the Cup last year. And if you had asked me last year, I would said they want to be more like Tampa because Tampa has been winning the Cup, the last 2 years.
Yes, I got that part,
And I said, okay,
they want to lift the cup at center ice. Gotcha.
Now, I can do that because I'm pretty far away from him, so you can't reach across the table and slap me. I'm pretty good distance.
Well,
so then I was like, okay, now let me answer the question. So I said what you said there at the end. I said I led with they want to be strong on the forecheck and they want to be a physical team. That's at least what I've gotten from John Hines. And then I said they want to be strong on the back end, which at times, especially this winning streak, it's looked a lot better during the losing streak and on the road. I don't think it's been very strong.
Yeah.
In front of UC Saros, and UC Saros hasn't been strong. I thought he was really good last night. He's been good on this homestand. So we were essentially saying, the same thing.
You guys were in the ballpark with each other for sure.
We were all over it. Now, Bob in Antioch asked me, Alex, is that he thinks this team is lacking speed. Do you agree with that?
I think in some places, yeah. I mean, they've got speed, I think, where it counts. I mean, okay, think about like Philip Forsberg, for example. He's not the speediest guy on the team, but he's definitely their best offensive threat. I mean, he is when he has the puck, you expect him to go score. I mean, every time. So I don't think it's always about speed. I think they have speed where it matters. Duchesne has some speed. Obviously, Josi has speed. Juuso Parssinen has a pretty good amount of speed for a 20-year-old. But let me go back for the identity thing for a second. Let's go back to when John Hines was hired in 2020, early 2020. The biggest complaint about the Nashville Predators at that point was that they weren't hard to play against anymore.
Yep.
That was the number one complaint.
I called them baby poop soft is what I called them.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that was the number one complaint, and that's where Laviolette kind of left them and why he was ultimately fired. So they brought John Hines, and I think David Poyle's probably number one request or number one maybe job requirement was, can this guy, whoever we hire, get them to be tough to play against again? And I think that's John Hines' mindset from the very beginning. Now, last year, they were so physical that they committed every penalty in the book and were the number one most penalized team in the NHL. They have since kind of fixed that. They're not the number one most penalized team anymore. They didn't have any penalties last night at all. So they're kind of having to maybe back off on the physicality just a little bit in order to add a little bit more skill. So I think it's kind of a work in progress. I don't know if it's going to work. They're not Colorado right now, I can tell you that. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But I think they're improving defensively. Their forecheck is better. If they can get a little bit more skill out of their forwards and create more offense that way, I think they'll be okay.
Last year, you had Matt Duchesne and Philip Forsberg, who scored between both of them 85 goals last year, between just those two players. This year, those same two guys have 12 goals. What am I missing here? Am I missing that, is this, and I know last year was a record.
In 20 games.
20 games. And it's 20 games. And I know we got a little ways to go. But I'm just saying the pacing does not seem to be on par with where we were. And I understand last year was a record, and you can't expect record-breaking seasons every year. But is there something actually off with this with those two in particular, or has the chemistry changed to the point to where they are no longer relying on them for the lion's share of their goal scoring?
I would say it's kind of between those two players. I would say it's more on Duchesne than Forsberg right now, and honestly, I think a lot of it is actually more on the power play than it is on anything else. The power play for the Predators has been very bad this year. I think they're 30th now in the league, and last year Matt Duchesne had 16 power play goals. That's over the course of the whole year. This year he's only got 2 so far.
Okay.
And I think of his 5 goals that he has so far, I think at least 1, maybe even 2 of them are empty net goals. So Duchesne is not playing the way that he needs to play. He's not producing, I guess I should say, the way that they expect him to produce. He's shooting at around 9% right now. He's like kind of a career 14% shooter, so I'd expect that to go up. That's just a luck factor. I mean, like, it's just like shooting percentage in basketball. I mean, like,
sure.
For the most part, Steph Curry's going to shoot 40% from 3 or whatever it is. If he shoots 30% over a month, you're pretty sure it's going to improve. Same kind of thing in hockey.
Okay.
Well, the good news is December will be an easy start. Devils, Islanders, Tampa on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to find out, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough challenge. And this Devils team, man, you cannot sleep on them. They are really good.
They are. Gosh,
what's going on with that?
They have turned. I mean, good for them.
Yeah,
they have finally. I mean, they've been having all these high draft picks. I guess it's finally all coming together. By the way, Jeff on Twitter has responded to my initial comments at the beginning of this, and this is another good point. Alex and Justin, he says, they also make you watch, for every minute of videos that you watch on NHL.com, they're going to make you watch a minute worth of ads.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's bad, too. That's real bad.
That is true. Alex, good stuff. Appreciate the visit.
Thank you, Alex.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Justin, I just want to say I am happy to help to be your Sherpa on this mountain learning hockey. So.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We'll call on you again for sure.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
That is Alex Doherty. Covers the Preds for A to Z Sports. Good stuff from him, as always. We'll come back. More of the McFarland Show. Cure Hotline wide open the rest of the hour. 615-844-5600.
Are you tired of your current vehicle? Maybe looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle? Hey guys, it's Zach. Hayes Nissan of Rivergate is the best choice for your vehicle needs. Located at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison, Hayes Nissan of Rivergate has been serving the Middle Tennessee community for over 3 decades. That gives you confidence that Hayes Nissan of Rivergate can find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and your budget. Their friendly and knowledgeable staff will make sure you are taken care of. I should know because I've seen it firsthand. Every vehicle I've purchased has been from Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, and I love the entire process. Now, I don't want you to forget about their award-winning parts and service department. It has everything you need to get you back on the road. Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com. They're open there 24/7, 365 days a year. Or give them a call at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
Are you in trouble with the IRS? Detaxify is the trusted tax relief solution that has an A+ rating with the BBB, 5-star rating from Google, and specializes in the IRS Fresh Start program.
If you have years of unfiled back tax returns or owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, the government has the power to garnish your wages, freeze your bank account, and in some cases, they can now revoke your passport. This is John Zandy, president of Detaxify. Detaxify specializes in the Fresh Start program where we help struggling taxpayers get out of collections or settle their tax debt. If you're being audited or dealing with threatening letters from the government, you may need professional tax relief representation. My team at Detaxify can stop the tax collectors and stop the threatening letters from the IRS or state. Call me now for a free consultation.
Call now, 800-601-7780. That's 800-601-7780. Detaxify offers a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Call now, 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780.
Hey Nashville, Ray here from Run With It. Let me tell you about our sponsor, Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House. And with 4 locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville, they're your home for the best gourmet pizza and craft beers in Music City. Join me on Monday nights at the East Nashville location for poker night. And if you think you know everything, try Wednesday night trivia at both locations. Gourmet pizzas, craft beers, online at boombozz.com. Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House.
It's a Bill King Show.
Smoked a turkey. Smoked it about 9 hours. You know the little red button? I've never liked that, first of all, and I don't trust it. The internal temperature is what you should trust, not the stupid red button. That red button never popped out either, and I was starting to get worried because my wife likes the red button. I don't.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Our number is 615-844-5600. Darren and Justin here with you on the McFarland Show. Good stuff from Alex Doherty. Been another fun show. Another informative show.
Man.
You know, what can I say? We just do what we do.
Activating the defense. Learned
there you
what
go.
all that's about.
They had activation in Coming to America, too.
Yeah.
Soul Glow, right?
It was a little different there.
A little different activation?
Slightly.
Are you impressed or saddened that I actually tried to use that?
I'm not sure. I have very mixed feelings about what you did there. So I'm still
by the way,
trying
Justin, so do I.
Still trying to,
I have no idea.
I don't know why. It's like, why would he try to do that?
I don't know.
That's an awkward thing to do.
I don't know why I decided to go So Glow.
Why
I don't
would
know.
You, out of nowhere.
Wasn't that activation?
We
no.
weren't talking about Eddie Murphy or Arsenio Hall. Nothing. You just decided to reach for that on your own.
I did. And I feel like I
can't think of anything Coming to America related that we were talking to at all.
I feel like I was at the edge of the cliff and rocks started sliding down the hill and I'm like, whoa.
I'm like,
get back.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That got something going in your mind. Okay.
Yes,
because, when I think of Roman Yossi activating in the Predators' defensive zone, I automatically shift to
Coming to
America and the Jerry curl fad of the 1980s. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Except not really.
All right. Let's go to our Cure Hotline. Nate is down in Columbia. Nate, what's up?
Nate, have you seen Coming to America, Nate?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see, there we go. So Nate has no clue what we're talking about.
I'm 29. I was wondering if Darren's going to be able to get through this segment because the way he's laughing.
Well, I was just like, I'm not sure I should have gone there. I don't know what I was doing. I think I just took the show off the rails.
Going?
My bad.
Okay.
Get us back up there.
Let's talk about it, Nate. What's going on?
So, the games that were played yesterday, out of the 9 NHL games, there were 5 that had at least 5 goals. The Preds win games like the Titans win games, low-scoring, close games. And they beat the teams that are basically almost bottom feeders.
I think it's very fair.
And it's concerning, especially when you see the last game's score last night. Did y'all see this?
Did you see are you talking about the Kraken, Kings?
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
17 goals.
9-8 was the final.
In one game, 17.
Yes. Yeah, by the way, there was only I'm trying to think fact check this. I don't believe Seattle scored a third period goal, and I think LA had 1 or 2. In 17 goals, I think only 1 or 2 of them were in the third period. So everything came in the first 40 minutes.
That is correct. LA scored 2 goals in the third. Seattle scored none. the most goals were in the second period where Seattle scored 5. I'm like, when I see that after the game last night, I'm like, there's no chance.
What in the world?
By the way, the Kraken are 14-5-3. I asked the question after the Kraken game out in Seattle this year, is this too early to say the Kraken, this is what they are, and they're going to be really good? They're going to be one of the surprise teams? And everybody that I asked that to said, it's too early. I think they'll come back to earth. And maybe they do. But they're 14-5-3 this year. Just saying. Maybe they're not.
I mean, we're a little over 20% of the way to the season. When is it that you are who we thought you were?
I mean,
I don't know. Nate, what's going on with your phone, man? You sound like you just literally called. You just went to Mars real quick.
Oh.
There you are.
I'm sorry.
There you
I
go.
don't know.
There you go. Boy, and I'm looking at the box score. Everybody scored. It wasn't like
there
one
was
person.
17 goals.
It wasn't like it was one person. Like, everybody got a little piece. Like, nobody on the Kraken had more than one goal. No, here we go. Verardi, I'm sorry. Yeah, he had 2, the center there. Everybody else had 1 goal apiece. That's a lot. Okay.
I mean, like I said, I'm just concerned that the Preds' lack of scoring. I was listening to another show earlier today, and I wonder if their physicality is creeping up on them. Because everybody's saying the Preds want to be physical to beat down the other team. Well, I mean, the game is changing. It's a faster game, and I wonder if the Preds are getting physically tired.
Yeah, they're 3 goals away from being the lowest scoring team in the league.
Jeez. Well, that's not a formula for success.
Not for a league that's,
yeah.
Again, I thought that was a fair comparison. Like the Titans and the Predators. Like, they're both in leagues that are, scoring at will. The rules have changed, and it's just a different game. And everybody's trying to outscore everybody, and the Titans are like old school.
Don't they have defensive-minded head coaches, though?
First team to 20 wins, if they right? And the Predators, like I just said, they're right now, 10-9-2? And they're 3 goals away from being the lowest scoring team in the league.
They also both have defensive-minded head coaches, it would seem.
Yes, fair to say.
Okay.
Now, let me leave y'all with this real quick. A couple games ago, I was sitting in the stands, and I think it was on a power play. It's gotten so bad that a fan behind my wife and I yelled, "Just shoot the puck. It doesn't matter if it's on the net."
That never goes on in the arena. Nobody ever has said that before. That's weird.
Shoot!
They said shoot? Really? Huh.
Well, the funny part to me was that they said it doesn't matter if it goes on net.
Yeah. Well. I'm just referencing like 20 years of shoot! 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 Just shoot it!
Just shoot it!
Hey, the puck's on his stick. Shoot it! Like there's 3 guys in front of him. Shoot it!
I've been that guy. I know.
You have?
I understand. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I've been that guy. Because you don't know what's supposed to be happening.
I don't know. Well, look, last night they got the win. It wasn't the prettiest win. UC Saros was fantastic. But, yeah, you get 2 points and you move on. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
So, Nate, appreciate the phone call.
Thank you, Nate.
At some point, a win is a win doesn't cut it.
Well, I didn't say – you're right. You're right.
I said that. But, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, or Justin. Yeah.
I said that, but okay.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's step away. Yep, thank you for the phone call.
Thank you, Nate.
As always. We'll step away, come back and wrap up Wednesday's show next.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Hey guys, it's Zach. Give the gift of play with the team at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. Stop in and stock up on a huge selection of new and gently used gear and equipment. Maybe you need some cash for the holidays. If you have too many bikes, inline skates, hockey, or other sports gear that you don't use anymore or it doesn't fit, get cash on the spot for your unused gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. They have the trained staff to help you sell your gear and help you find the perfect gift for the holidays, like a new baseball bat, lacrosse stick, yoga and workout gear, or equipment for a home gym. Or maybe you're like me and you love perusing golf clubs. Go check out what they have in their used inventory. I'm always in the Hendersonville store checking out their used golf clubs. So get cash for your holiday gifts when you sell your gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. And make sure to tell them Zach from Nashville Sports Radio sent you. That's Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hey, it's Sammy Kincaid, host of Power Hour with Sammy Kincaid. Every Saturday morning from 9 to 10, listen in as I highlight women in sports from high school to the pros, athletes and administrators. And you know what? Let's talk some ball with women covering the game across the country. Power Hour with Sammy Kincaid is every Saturday morning. Listen in on Nashville Sports Radio from 9 to 10 a.m.
Again, if you didn't hear, Tanico Autry.
Janico, yes.
Did not practice. Does he have a brother?
I don't know.
Named Janico?
Yeah.
But Tanico, who's really good, and they need him.
They do.
Did not practice. Not good for the Titans. Still dealing with the knee injury. Elijah Molden dealing with the groin. Did not practice today. Big Jeffrey Simmons. Ankle injury still, dealing with that. Did not practice. But, you know, he's a baller.
Yeah.
I feel like even it's Wednesday, he'll figure out a way to be out there, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
Now, for some good news,
Mm-hmm.
Randy Bullock, full participant.
Yes.
So maybe that's why they didn't cut Shudak. Although Vrabel spoke glowingly of him. So that's when I heard his press conference on Monday, I was like, oh, well, they're not going to cut him, I guess. They like him. And also Ben Jones, who I think they need to get back in there. Full participant.
It is clear that they need Ben Jones back on the field ASAP. And that much is very clear based on the performances that we've seen from the running game over the last couple of weeks.
Philadelphia really doesn't have any big significant injuries.
Well, good
I think Devontae Smith he was a limited participant today. He's dealing with the groin, which, you know, is tricky for a receiver. But
you know, I when I was listening to Mike Vrabel talk about the Eagles roster today, I caught what I thought was just a little bit of envy almost is what it sounded like about some of the guys they have over there and what they do well. And I'm sure, you know, listen, Mike's going to be the last guy, you know, to throw some of his own players under the bus. But, you know, and I've listened to Mike talk about other teams all the time. He seems to be very impressed with what the Philadelphia Eagles have going on currently. And it's hard not to be when you've done the things they've done this year. So the challenge is large for the football team, for the Titans on Sunday. But, you know, it always is the NFL. And this team, they come to play and they come to figure it out. So we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly what this team has.
Grizzlies at T-Wolves tonight.
Rematch.
8 o'clock.
Epic playoff series last year. So always fun when those two get together.
That could be heard right here on these airwaves. Grizzlies, Timberwolves.
A lot of fun.
Devlin, will you be here?
I will have it set up here, yes, correct.
So you'll be running the game?
Yes.
Okay. So it'll be a long night for Devlin.
Long night of quality basketball.
Yeah.
NBA basketball.
Grizzlies favored in that game.
As they should be.
Isn't Towns hurt?
That's a great question.
I think he got hurt the other night, so
but
he's
listen,
out.
In the NBA, this time of year, isn't everyone a little hurt in some way?
Well, I don't know. They do all
everybody
those
take a few days off
did they
here
crack
and there.
down about the maintenance days and all that stuff, or no?
I think it was like an internal memo type of thing. I don't think there's any actual rules with that. Okay. So, it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. But this time of year, you turn on an NBA game, you have no idea who's actually going to be in the lineup.
No, which is
that's
no where the problem really started because people
clue.
are paying big bucks and they're showing up and they're like, "What? None of the stars are playing."
Yeah, guy will take off
here?
last minute, undisclosed injury, just whatever.
Yep.
So, good luck with that. Watching the NBA this time of year. Come back next month. They'll be more engaged.
More engaged. Or Christmas. That's what I always think.
Christmas.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it Christmas?
Yeah.
Like the
real,
when the NBA kind of gets started.
Yeah, that's when the players get serious about life.
They do like a quadruple header.
Yeah. That's when the players get serious about life.
All right. We're going to get serious about coming back tomorrow.
Yes.
At 2 o'clock. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Stay tuned. Afternoon Stretch is next.